Good morning. My name is David Lee. I'm a mechanical specialty inspector and I work for the Health and Safety Executive. And today I'm going to be talking about how HSE do enforcement process and impact of a HSE accident investigation on a business. The presentation will go through certain areas. My overview will be what will HSE do after an accident has been reported, how HSE investigates, what evidence should an organisation have for training, and also looking at HSE's previous prosecutions and training and your legal responsibilities. Next slide. As you're aware, HSE is a regulating body. These are a list of the law, not all the law, it's just some of the areas which I think are important. As you know, we've got the top there, but the Health and Safety at Work Act. And moving through there, we've got pure law, and also one thing which I think people may understand is workplace health and safety and welfare regulations. I'm not sure if you're all aware, but what is HSE's role in an accident? So HSE typically investigate 2 to 3% of reported accidents. And also, I think something to take into consideration is fatal accidents are around 50% of these result in prosecution, which later in my presentation I'll go into a bit more detail. HSE also investigate accidents for a number of reasons. Obviously, to identify what went wrong, why it went wrong, and what can be done to make sure it doesn't happen again. And also lessons learned. Also, a lot of the information feeds back through video reporting back into HSE, so we can understand what organisations and what duty holders are failing on, and where we need to pinpoint our inspections, and also looking at investigations. I'm not sure if you're aware, I did enter into this presentation talk, so I'm a mechanical specialist, which I'm a mechanical engineer, chartered engineer. The normally regulatory inspector is a regulatory inspector, so there's a difference between a specialist and a regulatory inspector. But we still hold warranted powers. I'm not sure you've seen what we talk about warranted powers. So we have the power to enter non-domestic premises to investigate an accident. We also can turn up to any workplace if we feel there is any untoward issues regarding health and safety. We also can interview anyone who can give us information about what led up to an accident or what happened afterwards. We can take photos, we can take samples, we can examine and also take copies of documents. And also we can record it in writing what happened. How we investigate. So we need to understand what happened. So there's been an accident on site. We may be looking for witnesses. Who was working in that vicinity. We can take witness statements. We're looking at key facts relating to the causes, identifying any immediate underlying causes, and also identifying any lessons learned. And one thing what may come onto this is that if there has been a breach of the law, at that stage, we will look to find out what is appropriate enforcement action. My next slide is just going to be talking around about key messages in relation to training. As I said in my first slide, by law, employers must give employees adequate training to ensure health and safety. So, as it's been mentioned by the other speakers, when you join a company, the employees may join with existing qualification tickets, but the employer should still satisfy themselves that the employee can demonstrate those skills. So this is looking at carrying out your own assessment, monitoring and supervision. And also when new employers come to different organisations, they'll be exposed to different risks and also different environments. And also within that, they may have existing skills, but they may also become rusty and what require updating. In relation to the actual equipment they use, we're talking about industrial trucking environment. They need to have some type of familiarisation training, and also different trucks will have different operational requirements within different environments, so different hazards and different locations, obstacles, what they might be dealing with. And also needs to be some type of transition with the training, working in these environments. I just want to continue on that, and I mentioned on the messages of refresher trainings, upskill and CPDs. This is continually monitoring and updating the employees of the going through the organisations. So it's recalibrating each employee with the skill sets, so addressing those bad habits. And also supervision. Employees need to monitor employees' skills and keep them up to date, and for the relevant current tasks and hazards. So if the tasks change, then that training gets revisited. If there's different hazards or the areas being moved around with transportation, again, it goes back into the training, reformalisation and supervision. The next slide, unfortunately, things do happen within work organisations where this duty holder has unfortunately breached the law in relation to, he had a fine of 600,000. I'm not going to read it word for word, but as you can see in bold there, is that the company pleaded guilty to breaching Section 3.1 the Health and Safety at Work Act. That, in a sense, is that the company is responsible for his employees and other employees who don't work for him on their site. So in relation to, you've got an agency worker working on site, you've still got responsibilities for that agency worker on your site. Next slide. Again, another fine, which is a high sum again, which is something we go through here. This information is available on the Health and Safety HSC's website, which is freely available, and you can see typical prosecutions which go through from various different duty holders. As you can see there, we've got the company pleaded guilty again in breaching the Section 2.1 Health and Safety at Work Act, and the fine was around 107,000. So this is again where it just shows dividends that the employer needs to make sure he follows the duties in relation to law. So again, I'm looking at here is training and your legal responsibilities. I said from the first slide, to comply with the law, employees need to have the skills, knowledge and experience to carry out their duties safely. Organisations should take into account their employees' capabilities and ensure that demands of the job do not exceed their ability to do the work without themselves, the risk to others. Another thing here, what I've mentioned is everyone in the organisation requires adequate health and safety training. And we move further down this slide is that people should be competent for their work if they undertake training along with knowledge, experience and skill, and all these intertwining each other, because this is what builds a competence going through the organisation and going through the employees' development through the business. And thank you very much for listening.